All right, guys, I'm just double checking the stream here. Just having some technical difficulties here, but I will be up just shortly. There we go. All right, perfect. Think we're okay. Just let me know if there's any type of lag or anything like that. I just had to make sure to double check the connection here because sometimes not all these streams really connect and I currently multi-stream. So if you're just tuning in, I'm Chris Mizo and I love to talk about PC and tech. If you're not part of the fan bam already, make sure you think about subscribing to the channel and make sure to give this video a thumbs up. I will officially announce the giveaway soon at 10:30 a.m. Just make sure you stay tuned until then because I will announce the product that I will be giving away. So to get back to the topic here, originally I was talking about this whole issue with AMD and NVIDIA. Now, originally with AMD, there was a lot of complaints that they haven't seen any MSRP pricing when it comes to these graphics cards. Now, most people found that these cards were a little bit or just quite a bit more than the original price as intended, which was $550 for the 9070, and 9070 XT was supposed to be priced at $600. Now, for those who were lucky enough to go to a Micro Center, they actually had a ton of supply. Definitely a win for when it comes to AMD's side. You had no real issues getting these cards, but of course, there was a massive amount of people at Micro Center picking up some of these XT cards to resell on eBay. Fortunately, a lot of these cards, they're trying to sell them for well over $1,000, even though they picked it up for only $600 at their local Micro Center. Now, the good thing is that if you were there at least within 30 minutes to an hour, you were still able to pick up a card relatively easy. Now, you had some people that were willing to join overnight to really catch this supply. Now, the problem was when it came to a lot of these online retailers such as Newegg or Best Buy. Now, Best Buy, I know, was pretty decent when it came to the prices. Newegg mostly promoted more of their higher end prices as usual, unfortunately, because Newegg will always be Newegg, and they also had some bundled deals, of course, with some of the motherboards if you are interested in building a PC. But for those who are just interested in updating a GPU, it was still quite hectic to even pick up a RX 9070. Now, if you were very patient and were able to keep clicking, you were more than likely able to score a RX 9070. Where I was located, unfortunately, I couldn't reach the Micro Center that day, but I did manage to score a RX 9070 XT for this build. So we're 100% going Team Red with this PC budget build. Now, if you're not familiar with this build, what we have currently for it is we have the ASUS Tough Gaming Plus motherboard. It is the B850, which is the AM5 processor. They also, or the AM5 chipset, where you can put their AMD 7000, 8000, or 9000 series processor. We also have the crucial P3 Plus SSD that we will be using. It is NVMe 4. We decided to not go to use PCI Express 5 because it's just going to be more costly instead of being cost effective, which is what we're essentially trying to reach for this PC build. You also have the ASUS LC360 AIO cooler, and we also got some Corsair Vengeance RAM that we are excited to have as part of this build. Now, let me see. It seems that the connection's not that great, so let me try knocking off some of these connections here. All right, so for everyone who is joining in on the X side, I'm going to try to knock that down because it seems like this stream is kind of lagging back a little bit. So hopefully that'll help some. Maybe it's too much streams going on at once. So let me knock that off. I apologize. Make sure to join in through the YouTube and Twitch side. Hopefully that'll work. Let me see. Now, unfortunately, my connection is Comcast. I prefer to have some fiber connection, but the upload speeds aren't that great. Hopefully, the connection does turn out a little bit better after doing this. Hopefully, there's no issue there. Let me just double check this. All right. Oh, what's up? What's up, Digron Eminence? And a banger. Let me just double check here because I got everything. This chat's not even working properly like it should, unfortunately, too. So I'm gonna make sure to restart this streamer bot that I have. That's what I usually use for my chat. I apologize if I didn't see anyone out there. I'm just gonna reset it. Just gonna re-sign in just to make sure that I can see you guys on the chat. It's only gonna be a moment. There we go. And shouldn't have an issue now. So it's kind of a pain because it has this session where I gotta re-sign in. But I am excited nevertheless. Let me see. There we go. Hopefully it picks up on it now. All right. Welcome everybody who is part of the FanBam, especially because I am going to announce a free giveaway at 10:30 a.m. And I really do appreciate it. Now, this is 10:30, which is my in the Eastern time, which is about 15 minutes away. So make sure you stay tuned until then. I had to disconnect from the X post, but it seems it certainly helped the connection. Hey, a banger from Germany. And let me just, it's funny how this is. Okay, let me just open this up real quick. I apologize once more. Let me see. Oh, okay, I see what's going on. For some reason, it just keeps reconnecting and disconnecting on this chat. Okay. So we do have this build that we are excited for. Now, this whole AMD versus NVIDIA thing seems that NVIDIA just has this constant issue going on. NVIDIA has this problem where they're getting these recalls. They were actually supposed to release some new shipment next week, and unfortunately it had to get recalled. They actually kind of officially announced it themselves, but didn't at the same time. They had to actually call back a lot of 5090s and 5080s. So unfortunately, because of that, there is not going to be really any supply still, because there is a problem with the 12-volt high power port. Unfortunately, there was one person that was actually using the GPU where it reached as high as 150 degrees. And because of that, that was just one of them. It's a fire hazard. You just can't have that. That's hence why AMD does have quite the advantage. They certainly had the supply, and the pricing, you really can't beat it. You can still buy a GPU that's well under $1,000 with AMD, which really was something that is beneficial for all gamers out there. And they were 100% AMD about gamers not just wanting a GPU where it is cost effective, but also does have the performance. 85% of gamers want to spend less than $700 on a GPU, because not everybody is going to be willing to go for the RTX 5090, because honestly, it's MSRP is at $2,000, but realistically, if you really want it, it's going to cost you around $2,600 USD to about $3,200 USD. So it's kind of ridiculous how the pricing goes. Now, let me just open this up, guys, so I can see you over in the other chat, because this chat bot probably needs an update. But I can't wait to share what I have for the giveaway. And some of you already have an idea, especially who came to my prior streams. As you know, one of the items that I will be giving away is going to be the Samsung 990 Pro 1TB. And I will be giving away some merch. And I will have the link officially released at 10:30, which is about 12 minutes here. Now this is 10:30 Eastern time. Okay, let me sign in here. Oh, okay. And just gonna sign in. It's funny because I thought everything was nice and perfect set up here. But now I got all these codes I gotta sign in. Because it already thinks that I'm somewhere else for some reason. I think all part of it is because I have a VPN also enabled on this channel. So or on this router, so it automatically thinks that I'm somewhere else, so it's logging me out. It's pretty funny actually. But for all those who have NVIDIA series cards, the RTX 50 series, I gotta know, how are you liking it so far personally? Have you tried the DLSS 4? And what are your personal thoughts of it? Personally, on the RTX 4090, I can say I'm not a large fan of the frame generation because to me it seems like it still has some slight ghosting, especially when playing games such as Ninja Gaiden 2 Black. And I can't wait to play Monster Hunter Wilds, but unfortunately I can't play it yet until I get this PC built, because I do got a code, because we did get the AMD Ryzen 5 9600X for the build. I can't wait to test it on there as well, because we're going to see exactly how well it performs. The RX 9070 XT should be arriving sometime next week, and I'll unveil to show you exactly which card I got. I personally bought it, so don't worry, it's not sponsored at all. It is going to be, I'm going to tell you everything that there is about it, and any products that I personally get anyway. I always mention that I always mention when I get these products that I always prefer to do an honest review. Otherwise, I'm just not going to take in the product. So I'm definitely excited for this RX 9070 XT. It's supposed to come in Tuesday, and when it does, hopefully it comes in timely. I do want to plan a stream on that day to actually unbox it in front of you guys to show you how it looks. Now, let me get back into here. I'm just opening up another panel. Hey, what's up, HB Online Shopping? Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you are enjoying it so far. I wonder how everybody is honestly feeling about NVIDIA. It brings more doubt that I really kind of want to stay away from the RX 5090. I don't want to whip out a fire extinguisher on a PC that I just built. And you know, PC building takes some time, has a lot of pride, especially when you do all that wire management. And then on top of it, you just have to watch your PC burn down because of RX 5090. I mean, not RX, RTX 5090. It's just a bit ridiculous, and you want to have faith, especially when you're spending over $2,000 on an item. You expect it to have the quality where you don't have to fear about your PC burning down. You don't have to fear of that port melting down. And that's the exact problem that we're running into, unfortunately, with NVIDIA. And I just feel terrible on that behalf of it. Now, I certainly believe AMD is winning in 2025 for sure. Originally, I thought they were making a large mistake for not appearing at the conference, for not appearing at CES 2025 when it came to their GPU. They did announce their processor, of course, the 9950X3D, which is going to be released very soon. I'm not, honestly, for the processor side, I'm not really looking forward to that as much. I'm sure not everybody is looking forward to their upcoming processor, because we were hoping to have at least more of a stacked, instead of one 3D cache being stacked, we preferred two. It would make more sense, because then it would be kind of more groundbreaking. I'm expecting it more on the Zen 6 side. I think it's going to be quite different once that releases. Let me just get into here so I can see you guys talking. Let me see. Just got to get over here. And all right. And now it's connecting. Just double checking here. Hopefully you guys can see me okay so far. So far, I just have it currently just this multi-stream going onto YouTube and into Twitch. So it seems that it is working so far. Now, let me go here. And all right. So far, and let me just bring over the product here so I can show you exactly what it is. Now, scroll over here. So much PC components. Don't want to drop any of this stuff. Now, this is what we got out of Micro Center the other day. We actually got this on sale. We picked it up for $64.99, and on top of it, it was it's actually NVMe PCI Express 4, which we are excited for the build. It's a great deal for a for NVMe drive. It seems like the pricing of NVMe's actually went up as well. So it was honestly an awesome deal, especially for a budget PC build. The processor we decided to go with was this. We went with the Ryzen 5 9600X. And we also got the, well, this isn't part of the build, but I'll show that in a minute. Anyway, we got the B850 motherboard here, which is the ASUS Tough Gaming Plus. Hopefully you were there for that video. And I tried to go over it pretty thoroughly without taking apart too much of the motherboard, but we will certainly get into it more when you can see the different features that this motherboard does have when we go into the PC build. Just waiting upon a few other parts, and then we can go ahead with this PC build. Just currently just waiting on just one component to this, which is the power supply. Now, let me go ahead here. All right, so I'm just trying to go over here and catch the chat. Hopefully you guys can see me in there. Let's see. I'm just gonna say hi just to make sure that the streamer bot's working. It's acting honestly really strange because maybe there's two different tokens, but yeah, there must be some sort of weird delay. So I just typed in there into the chat, and it doesn't seem to respond. Don't know if the chat's working properly on YouTube, so I apologize if I can't see you. So I'm gonna try restarting this whole streamer bot real quick just to see if that's the problem here. All right. I thank you everybody for being part of this stream so far. I apologize if there is any type of inconvenience here, because I know it's not fun when something like this happens. Let's see, chat bot. Just going in because I just want to make sure I see everybody here, because I like everyone being heard, most importantly. And let me exit out of this. I think I got too much stuff going on here, and that could be affecting everything. So let me see. All right, just be right back here. I'm just gonna put up this for now, and then we'll talk very shortly. Testing 1, 2, 3. Is it? All right, guys. And now we're back. I just had to double check the connection. I apologize for everything there. Hey, what's up, A-Banger? Now I got the chat aligned with this working. It just seemed like everything was kind of off a little bit. It seems that the chat was out of sync, and Google just assumed that my account was hacked because of this VPN, because it kind of bounces all over the place because of it. So now I can see you guys and I can finally chat to you guys. But hey, what's up, guys? There we go. That's what I like to see. Now I can, perfect. All right. Now I can officially announce what's at the giveaway soon. Now, I am excited to announce that there is more product coming in. There's supposed to be 2 packages. What's up, A-Banger? What's up, Unreal Champion? What's up, guys? I can finally see you guys. So for this giveaway, oh, is it? The audio is very low. How is it for you guys out there? But I'll increase it a bit. Hopefully it doesn't get too loud. How's that? Is that better? And okay. Hopefully, just let me know if it gets too loud, because I just increased my mic manually. So if it does get loud, just let me know. But so far on this giveaway, I am excited to announce that we will be giving away this 990 Pro with the heatsink. It's 1 terabyte. I will have the link on YouTube. I will also put it on Twitch and everything. But here it is. This is what I will be giving away. Now, make sure to join in. Just join each entry. Let me know. There's a question for the fandom out there to kind of let me know exactly what you like about the channel and what I can also put on the channel for you guys to do. I love doing the streaming thing. It's actually a lot of fun. Actually, then I've figured it'd be a great to interact, and personally for me, I don't want to really do any type of ads or anything like that anyway. So having this stream certainly helps for that, because that's something I'm not going to put on my streams, just to let you know. But also I will also be giving away some merch. It's going to be like something like this. These tees over here, they're called Jonah tees. Reason why they're called Jonah tees, that's actually the name of my dog. And I figured he would represent the brand because he loves RGBs. In fact, he actually sleeps right by the PC all the time because of it. So I will be giving away 3 tees. And this is just one of the giveaways. Now, there is going to be a second part of the giveaways, because I just want to make sure that the merch I do receive, not the merch, but the components that I receive, will be coming up this upcoming week. For those who are just tuning in, there will also be, hey, what's up, Tech Review by Ernie? And just to let you guys know, there will also be some components coming in that I'm excited about. And certainly I will have something to give away, a second part to it on that side of things, especially for those who want to do some sort of PC build. So officially, we've gone Team Red with the budget PC build that we had planned. Whoever went to Micro Center with me that Saturday, it was a ton of fun. And we actually got a ton of different items over there. Hopefully you guys seen it. And for everyone that's just joining in to, oh yeah, sure. I'll call him in actually. He's wearing a donut. It's pretty funny. But yeah, so far AMD #1, they certainly had the showing, because it's just a mess with this whole NVIDIA factor. Have you seen that the card actually reached up to 150 degrees Celsius? It's just ridiculous. And I don't know how it can be released to the public. Just imagine you took 2 days to build a PC, and then all of the sudden that the PC starts smoking, and now you have motherboard damage, you have damage to your wire harnesses to your power supply, and you have damage to your GPU. And now you have to replace all that. It's just not worth it. You're spending well over $2,000 on it. I'm actually going to open up the door, see if he pops in. Let's see. Hey, Jonah. See if he comes in, because he's a pretty old dog, so he likes to sleep a lot now. I actually had him for 12 years, and now he's actually going to be 13 in May. So he's been around for a long time. I actually had him since he was 2 months. But certainly I am excited with AMD's Radeon RX 9070 XT, and I will unveil the unboxing once it comes in. I will definitely stream it for you guys out there. But your monitor is 4K and the new GPUs don't drive the frames I want. Now, I can completely understand it, especially if you're looking to reach higher 4K capabilities and if you're enabling ray tracing or path tracing, it may not reach the numbers that you're looking for. It's getting better. It's certainly getting better when it comes to the AMD side. And I hope they do start to compete when it comes to the higher end. I hope that AMD does come out with a 9080 XTX. That would be pretty dope if it came out with 32 gigabytes of VRAM. Hopefully they go into GDDR6X. That would be better for them instead of GDDR6. But I can completely understand if you are going through a 4K build and you're running a red team built as well. Very cool by Lian Li. Oh, that's awesome. I love Lian Li, especially the O11 cases. They are awesome. I love that design. It's so funny. They inspired so many different companies that even the PC case that I actually use is Corsair's 5500X, which is very similar to Lian Li's. So it definitely inspired many other companies that have that type of look. And it's just a everlasting look that's gone on for years, especially with them. And their products have been excellent and on par when it comes to their fans with the different LCDs inside of the in the middle of the fan, which is something that I would love to try. And yeah, certainly, Team Green has been just ridiculous with everything that's going on. We were supposed to, and even the inside information that I received, they were supposed to be released by next week. More RTX 5090s and more RTX 5080s were supposed to appear. They were supposed to drop at places like Micro Center, at Newegg, but unfortunately they were about 90% was pulled back, and now they have to fix the 12-volt high power port with them, because apparently they are getting to the point where they're actually flammable, which is it's highly dangerous to actually install a RTX 5090. So hence why you see such low supply. You might see some stragglers out there, like where they randomly come into places like Newegg. Yeah, I know. How about I force him on the stream? Does everybody in the chat wants to see Jonah come out? Because I could drag him out here. And you know what? Let me bring him over here because I know you guys will love him. I'll be right back. Hey, Jonah. There's the little guy right there. That's Jonah. There he is. He looks like he just woke up from his sleep, right? Now he's probably gonna light next to the RGBs because he personally loves them. For some reason, he likes to lay right by the fans. I personally don't mind it. Some people are afraid of the fur getting all up in the PC, but PCs have plenty of filters now, so just gotta, clean them every week at least. So let's see. We got a 7-inch touchscreen angled in there. Oh, Batman themed setup. That's awesome. And yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you. And he's getting up there in age. He's really healthy, actually. He's starting to get like a little bit shaky and everything. So we have to take him over to get his arthritis shot. He gets a shot like every month, so that way he can be very comfortable. But other than that, he's mostly healthy. He loves to go out and do his typical things like run after squirrels. He runs after every iguana he sees here. So it's hilarious when you'll see him in action. But well, he sheds a little bit, but not terribly, not that bad. But he definitely doesn't shed like a golden retriever, I can say. And yes, you are on point. He is a Schnauzer. He's a miniature Schnauzer mix. And yeah, he's been a great dog. But hopefully you guys were there when I showed this. If you haven't seen it already, make sure to check it out on my channel. I have this B850 plus Wi-Fi motherboard. I showed all the different features that it has. I know some people are afraid of the Q latch when it comes to the PCI Express. This one actually has a large lever. So that way you can release the graphics card if you're looking to do a PC build. And we got the Ryzen 5 9600X as well. And Crucial's P3 NVMe PCI Express 4. And we actually, you see the price that was on there originally, we actually got it for a better deal. We picked it up for $64.99. It was $20 off at Micro Center. So definitely take advantage of it, because Micro Center has some great deals if you have one close to you. If not, unfortunately, you got to look for Newegg's deals. Sometimes they have some good deals on there too. But it seems like this season, Newegg doesn't want to really give great deals. They kind of want to give you a $6,000, $7,000 package, especially if you're getting the RTX 5090. Yes, I did order the 9070 XT. I do have it. It's supposed to arrive. I actually ordered it on Newegg, ironically, but I purchased it on Newegg, was lucky enough to get it, and they didn't reject me for once. So I actually ended up getting the order. It should be coming in next week. It should be coming in, I think, Tuesday. If it does come in Tuesday, I will announce the stream. I will actually open it up and show you the RX 9070 XT that I chose to get. And hopefully you guys will be excited for that card, because personally I am. It's been a long while actually since I've installed a AMD GPU. Last one I installed was a while ago, probably 5000 series. So to get the AMD 8000 series will certainly be quite the difference from that GPU specifically. Currently, what I have on what I game, and yeah, luckily at this location, the one in Miami, I actually had a ton of stock. It was like 25 plus. It was insane. But it dwindled down really quickly. And that's thanks to their scalpers, because they all ended up bringing their friends. They brought their everybody that they knew in their cars to pick up these GPUs, so that way they can try to be these low life guys that end up trying to sell it on eBay for well over $1,000, hoping that they can make a killing off of it. But they're all bad things will come to an end anyway. So they're certainly going to get blown away by the stock numbers that AMD has, because they just have tenfold. We're going to probably see more stock within the next week soon, because again, AMD was prepared for this, and obviously they had a lot more time, because they were supposed to officially announce it in January at CES 2025, but unfortunately they didn't show with that, and instead they waited a couple months to announce it then. And yes, so I am paying it. Okay, so Micro Center is epic, and yes, it is. Adrenaline software is pretty, yes. I think the Adrenaline software has certainly been doing a lot better. I think it's definitely quite the upgrade. In fact, NVIDIA actually even has a similar thing, similar to the AFMF that AMD has. So they even are kind of like, it's funny because you never see that. Usually you see AMD kind of pulling a little bit from NVIDIA, but now it seems like it's kind of flipping the script a little bit. And hopefully, I hope AMD does come out with a high-end card. That would be very dope. If they do, I will certainly try to get my hands on that as well to see how well it performs. I would love to really test it against the current champ that I have on this PC build, and I have it on a RTX 4090. That's what I currently game with now, and that's on the my personal build. And for this new build that we have, it's going to be a little bit more of a budget build, which I just showed. And I'm excited to build because not everybody is going to spend a ton of money, especially the aftermarket. The GPU aftermarket is just terrible. They are charging quite a bit for a RTX 4090, charging well over $2,000 for a used GPU. Hey, what's up? It's Kabul. Yes, I do. I do talk to the chat. And let's see, my first, the 56, I think that's exactly what I had. I had the 5600X. Yes. Oh, that's awesome. I love the Pikachu. Yeah. You know what's funny? You see that Dragonite over there? I actually picked it up in Taipei last year when I went to go visit family. And I had to take a look at Taipei's Poke Center. It was dope. It's amazing. I'm a large Pokemon fan, if you guys don't know. And I certainly, I even have some of the old Wizards of the Coast cards. I actually kept them, surprisingly, for even though it's been so long. I tried to keep them in good condition. I actually sent some out to PSA grade. But yeah, I love Pokemon as well. So the tech review, you have the MSI Mech RX 6750 XT overclock. Oh, it's still a decent card. But yeah, so I can understand that if you're serving as an editing tool and if you want to use it. Okay. Yeah, that's definitely a great build, certainly. It definitely does excellent when it comes to its performance. I know you probably are looking for a little bit more VRAM if you could. And it seems like these newer games, I know everybody experienced it. Has anyone played Monster Hunter Wilds? In their personal opinion, what is your thought of it? What do you think of Monster Hunter Wilds? Has it feel really unoptimized? Because I'm personally wondering how it is. I played the beta version, but it hasn't really seemed to be problematic. And it's funny, if you tuned into one of my videos, I didn't actually make a video of it. In fact, I actually made a tweet about it, actually, where I compared the benchmarks with frame generation and without frame generation. Without frame generation on the NVIDIA card, actually performed better and actually got a higher score. But with frame generation, higher frames, but a lower score. And catchy, but not glitchy. I see what you mean. But it certainly has been quite the... I'm excited to play it. And Kingdom Come 2 is another game. I've heard great things about it. I heard the combat's something that it takes quite a bit of skill to do. I heard great things about it, like how it compares to games like Boulder Gates 3, which I personally love Boulder Gate 3. That was actually the first D&D game I actually ever played, but had a lot of fun doing it. And I haven't played a turn-based game in so long, besides, of course, Pokemon. That's still turn-based. But going back onto the topic with NVIDIA and AMD, and you know what's a shame? The 50 series, they officially announced that they're going to come with the RTX 5050, if you haven't seen it. So can you imagine what the performance like for the RTX 5050 would be? It's supposed to be on a 192-bit bus, I think, or maybe, yeah, 192-bit memory bus. And then on top of it, you can't use PhysX on it, or you can't use DirectX 9 on it. So what is really the point of that card? You're very limited to playing any of the games you want. You'll buy it for very cheap, probably. I think it's going to be at MSRP like for $300. Now, it's funny to think at mid-tier back then, not that long ago, probably like about, what was it? Maybe about 10 years ago, if you bought a card for $300, that it was actually a mid-tier card. Now, $300 will get you like in the bucket type of card. It just doesn't really do much especially with NVIDIA on that side. But now, when it comes to the whole side, with NVIDIA, the other issues too that they are running into, if you're just coming into the stream, that they are running into a problem when it comes to the RTX 5090s and 5080s. They had to recall about 90% of their supply. We were supposed to get more supply upcoming in the next week. Unfortunately, they kind of officially announced it, but didn't. But they just let you know we had to recall back all our 5090s because we got to fix this fire hazard because one person used it where it actually went up to 150 degrees on the 12 volt 2x6 port, which is insane. And it shouldn't be reaching that high of temperature, especially you're spending a ton of money on a RTX 5090. And you don't want, you shouldn't run into that problem, especially you're thinking you're paying for more quality. And that's the problem here, is that they should have been a lot more careful when it came to the quality control of this card, and they certainly didn't do that. Now, when Gigabyte's actually old electrical engineers, these are guys that used to work at Gigabyte that took a look at the 12 volt high power port, and they said that this port should be only designed for up to 325 watts, and that's it. That should be the limit. But they really pushed it to 600 watts, and instead they should have done something like what they did with the 2x8 ports, similar to that, like to the older PCI Express power connections, to where they actually split up the two modules. Originally, that's what everybody thought they were going to do with the RTX 50 series, but they chose to not do that. So, and I am excited to do this build. Again, if you're just tuning in, I just got this. We got this Crucial P3 PCI Express 4 NVMe, which we got for only $64.99. We picked this up for a little bit over $200, which is the AMD Ryzen 5 9600X. And we also got the ASUS B850 Gaming Plus motherboard. Hopefully you were there into the channel and you got to see that nice and early. I actually posted it up. And I also got a couple other things here. We got the Corsair Vengeance RAM. Yeah, it's funny. Jonah just kind of looked up the floor a little bit, so now I got to kind of wipe it. I can feel his drool all over the place. But here we got the Corsair Vengeance. We actually got that up for $92.99 USD. And we also got the ASUS Prime LC D360 cooler. It's the LC 360, ironically it's called, but that's going to be part of the build. And we actually, speaking of which, we got the case for it. We got the Air 903 Max, which we are also excited to use. That was only $74.99, but again, there's supposed to be more product coming in this week, which I'm excited to definitely get into. And there's supposed to be a couple more packages. All we need for this build, as you can tell, is we just need a power supply. Once we get the power supply, we should be pretty much good to go. And of course, we're going to do probably 2 versions of it. Now, originally, I was thinking of doing it streaming-wise, but that would require a lot of switching out lenses and everything like that, because currently that I would have to try to catch every angle, especially for those who want to catch a stream on that. But I think a video would probably suffice better than an actual stream into seeing that. But it would definitely be fun. Definitely an idea to do something like that. Let me see, guys. And just checking something here. And it's funny. I really want to get some fiber optics out here, because what I currently have is Xfinity. Everybody who has Xfinity or Comcast knows exactly how it is. It's just, they're just garbage when it comes to their connections anyway. Because you'll have like 1 gigabyte download speed. I mean, not 1 gigabyte, 1 gigabits of a download speed, but upload speeds will be at like 30 megabits. So that would be the best you can do. Let me see. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we got the next one. All right, perfect. I'm just double checking here because, and for those who are just coming in, as promised, I am doing this giveaway, and I got so much stuff up here on this desk. I am going to do the Samsung 990 with the heatsink, so you could put this into a PS5 if you wanted to, if that's what you chose to, or you can put it into your PC, just I wouldn't install the heatsink. It wouldn't be necessary, especially a lot of the newer boards. It is PCI Express 4, so it can certainly do that. And I will be giving one of those away, and I will certainly be doing giving away some merch. I'll be giving away these tees here, which are the Chris Mizo Jonah's tees. And again, Jonah's right here on the floor, just having a good time licking his paw, which he shouldn't be doing. That's one of the things that he shouldn't be doing, because he has this bad habit. Because what he does is, once he gets a little bit bored, he'll lick his paws. And one time he actually licked it to a bed area to where it actually got raw, so I had to watch him on that. Anyway, for this PC build, we are going AMD Ryzen 9600X, and for the GPU, we're going full AMD, which is going to be the RX 9070 XT. We did manage to get one Thursday. We actually got it out of Newegg. Now, Newegg will deliver it sometime this upcoming week. We'll be doing a live stream on the unboxing of it. There he is. We're going to do a live unboxing of it on the stream, which will certainly be exciting. I can't wait to show you which one I picked out, because I kind of carefully selected it. And AMD actually has a lot of great partners on their side, and they grabbed a lot of attention, especially for this upcoming generation. They're getting very close when it comes to ray tracing. They're about one generation behind on that from NVIDIA, and with path tracing, they're about 2 generations behind, to be honest. Now, for those who don't really care for path tracing or ray tracing, that's not going to be a large, it probably won't matter as much for you. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah, I got you. Oh, man. Hopefully your shoulder gets a lot better out there, Tech Review. For those who are tuning in, if you're not familiar with who I am, I'm Chris Mizo. I love to talk about PC and tech. You can feel free to talk in the chat, because I do respond to the chat if you're just wondering about that. Got a few questions about that. Also, if you're not part of the big, wonderful fan base, make sure you go down and hit the subscribe button. And make sure you give a thumbs up in the chat. Check out the website, chrismizo.com, if you'd like. That's where I have all my other social media and other links as well. And what we're going to do is this PC build for 2025. I talked briefed a little bit about that. Probably came in here mostly about why AMD is kind of beating NVIDIA. Not really kind of, but they're really on top of NVIDIA. It's funny because it's almost like the analogy when you go with the turtle and the hare race, right? It's almost like NVIDIA was the hare and AMD was the turtle. So unfortunately, it seems that NVIDIA thought they really had it, especially when they announced that the 5070 was going to perform just as well as the 4090. But of course, that was with only DLSS 4. Now, when you look at the comparisons, such as games such as Indiana Jones, somebody actually compared that side and side. Now, the 5070 certainly was able to have the frames. They were certainly able to actually even bypass it in certain areas when it came to even temperatures even. Now, the funny part is, when you took a look at the different textures and the graphics, it actually didn't look that great. When you looked at the RTX 4090, you could tell it was a lush forest and had like that foggy look. It looked very intricate. Now, when you compared it to the 5070, it was just green. What's up, Elvis? Welcome to the chat. Hopefully you enjoy this stream upcoming so far. And but when you compared those two, it just was obvious that the 5070, it was just no match for the 4090, especially if you compare raw power. And it seemed that the card it would resemble mostly or compete mostly against, of course, was the 4070. And then some benchmarks showed that it was actually closer to something like a 4060. So it didn't quite have the power that was expected, especially for the price point it was at for $549 USD. Now, the thing is, AMD's RX 9070. What's up, Mulder? Welcome. I love seeing you guys out there. So the thing is, with the RX 9070, they certainly have the advantage. Because of their advantage, they had the supply. you were able to get a RX 9070 if you were patient enough to wait online for it. Sure, it was quite the battle, just like anything else out there. It's quite the battle to try to purchase the latest and the greatest. And the same when it came to Micro Center, you have people that's waited there 2 days before. Unfortunately, those people that waited 2 days before are more than likely not there for the RX 9070. They're there to sell the RX 9070. That's what they're there for. In fact, when we went to Micro Center the last week, and if you were part of that stream, we saw that there was actually people waiting on a Saturday, and they waited overnight. And the funny thing is, as soon as I approached there was already 3 guys there, but the 2 guys, I can tell they were together, and they brought somebody else out the car with them, which was another guy that they brought just in case to secure a RTX 5090 if it was available at the store then. But the funny thing is, again, it's a Saturday, they had no RTX 50 series in stock. So they waited overnight for nothing. So a lot of these scalpers are just waiting each day to get the stock. So that just shows you how ridiculous it can be trying to get a RTX 50 series card. So unfortunately now, a lot of the RTX 5090s are being recalled, and it's going to be a certain series. Yeah, it really feels like a paper launch, right? It really was a scam. I was highly disappointed because we were told by the industry even that that Blackwell was going to be breakthrough. It was going to be an excellent card that everybody is going to want Blackwell because it was supposed to be a game changer. But what they did was all they brought was DLSS4, which was which has a frame generation, and then on top of it has a transformer model. So apparently the 40 series also has a transformer model, but it's not as high as the 50 series. And if you tried DLSS4 or you tried frame generation, you'll notice that it's not perfect. In fact, when I was gaming on Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, you'll notice that there is some slight ghosting. It looks a little bit strange in some areas. You kind of see a trail, even if you have a high refresh rate monitor. In fact, to let you know that the monitor that I was gaming on is a 240 hertz monitor. So it's certainly not the limit for Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is 120 hertz at the most. So it's certainly not the monitor. It's definitely has to do with the ghosting when it comes with DLSS4. Now, I think what AMD will certainly introduce, FSR4 will certainly be quite the improvement. AFMF has certainly been quite the game changer. I am more curious about how the textures will look. I know Adrenaline will be a much better improvement compared to what it originally was. And it seems that AMD has been taking the lead for sure. They have the supply. They have the price point that gamers are looking for. And they were 100% right on it that gamers are not willing to spend over $700 USD on a card. Nobody wants to. It would be way too expensive. Who wants to spend over $3,000 on a RTX 5090 just for it to catch fire? And then you have to fix other components if it really does end up catching fire. Sure, it has the largest VRAM that you can get in a GPU. But what good is it if it gets too hot? In fact, the temperatures were reaching as high as 150 degrees Celsius on one GPU. Hence why they had to do this whole pullback. What's up, Tech Review? Welcome back. Thank you for coming back. I love seeing you guys. Make sure you ask all the questions that you have. If you want to mention anything, let me know. Put it in the chat. I definitely respond to it. Now, the thing is, it's just a disappointment, especially for NVIDIA's side. Being there at CES 2025, I was so excited for this card. I felt like I need to get this card. NVIDIA is great at that. They make you feel like you need to get the card. They are excellent at marketing, and they knew how to give give a blow to AMD when it came to the pricing with the RTX 5070. And it kind of caused them to pull back. Ironically, the whole AMD conference was actually before NVIDIA. So somebody must have got wind about the 5070 hence why they did not want to announce anything about it. So what the things is with the 50 series, only, yeah, exactly. You know what it's like? If you get, speaking of car analogies, it's kind of like getting a NOS or turbo on your car, but not having the proper pistons or the proper cooling for it. And then it overheats, and that's the problem. They don't have the correct components for it. They made it nice and cooler, but not cooler, but they, because of course it's overheating. But eventually we're going to need water-cooled cables at this point. Gigabyte engineers took a look at the 12-volt high-power port before, and they also mentioned that it should not be going up to 600 watts. The maximum it should go up to is 325, maybe 350. But they chose to go a full 525 watts when it came to the 5090. That's why it's heating up so badly and has a high probability of getting to that point where it's going to melt up a cable. Now, a lot of the cables that were affected, I gotta say, for the 50 series were mostly third-party cables that did not belong to the PSU. They have only one power connector with 12, yeah, and that is an issue. It's 600. Yep, and it will be, and that's the problem here. And it's definitely, you don't want to spend that kind of money. You work really hard to get 3,000 USD, just say, or and you tried to go purchase this card. You spend your money, all that money you spend on a card. Do you really want to come back and say and install this card and say, oh great, now it's not working, I gotta replace my motherboard too because now it melted in, you got a scorched mark on there where you're afraid it burned out a capacitor. In fact, there's actually a RTX 5090 that actually blew a capacitor, and this was on the Astral. And when it blew the capacitor, that had to get, of course, that had to get RMA'd. That ended up scorching up his board as well, which is terrible. And hey, what's up, Rex? Welcome back. Good to see you there. And have you watched Bauer? Yes, I did watch Bauer's review. I watched it. I think it was a couple weeks ago, and it's just insane. That should not be capable. It's just you're forcing so much power through a certain gauge through these cables that it's unable to take it. It just isn't able to take that type of temperature because the flow is just way too high. The resistance in it is just incredible. That's what's causing a lot of these shorts, is because of that. And again, with it was a couple different PSUs that they tried, and again, with cable mod, I'm sure you remember with the RTX 4090, there was issues about that. Remember when cable mod came out with those angled cables for the 12-volt high power port? And they were supposed to eliminate the problem with a lot of cases because they weren't as wide that you would have to plug those in order for it to fit in the case. But some people forced the fitment of the RTX 40 series, especially the 4090s, where they bent the cable and caused a short in the connection and caused some high resistance to the point where it caused it to burn out. And that's most of the case, is because there's such high resistance that it's going to burn out your connector and the wire. And yes, I've always had a fear of some cards I've gotten or traded with someone come cash down the drain, and I've been buying through vendors for the most part. Yes. And that's the big problem. Like when you are getting it through these vendors, it's just like you're really just throwing your cash right away. And you know, when you get these cards, the warranty services are not going to be great, especially for the 50 series. Now I'm not saying they're not going to back their product, but if you send in a 5090, how fast do you think you'll actually get it back? Do you think you'll get it back within 2 weeks? It's probably going to take it, honestly, like 6 to 8 weeks to get one back. And just imagine you just not being able to game on it. Matter of fact, if you had to replace your motherboard and you took that out and sent it out, you'll probably get your motherboard back before your RTX card, which is insane. And Yeah, I've always had some fans, and I've gotten used or traded with someone. Cash. Okay, sorry. At my engine. Oh no, no, no. It's okay. It's no problem there. I appreciate everybody across the world that's tuning in. If you're and for anybody that's just tuning in to this stream, I'm Chris Mizo. I usually talk about PC and tech. And if you're into that kind of thing, think about subscribing to the channel. Hopefully you are liking the stream so far. If you are, make sure to give it a thumbs up. There is a giveaway in this stream, which if you haven't heard, what I am doing is doing a giveaway for this 990 Pro with the heatsink. So you could choose to install it into a PS5. So it definitely has that flexibility. Or you could put it in the PC. But if you are putting it in a PC, just don't install the heatsink. Honestly, the motherboard's heatsinks are going to be better than using the heatsink that comes with these. That comes with the SSDs. Oh, thanks for subbing Tech Review. I appreciate it. Dr. Blitz, glad there's no games. It took away the yeah. That's the funny thing. You know how bad I've been going after the 5090? I actually went after it for over a month. Now, personally, I don't really need it. I don't want it per se, but I want to give it a thorough review. And I'm kind of glad because I don't have any fire extinguishers. So I'd buy it if it really came with a fire extinguisher model. I definitely do it. I put it on a bench and everything just to see how hot it would go. But I'm afraid that we would be correct on that theory, that it would get too hot and definitely go through some burnt cables there. But I'm glad because, again, that would be money that, again, we would be throwing down a tunnel. It's just nothing. We're not going to get anything out of it. So if you have your RTX 40 series, definitely stick by it. Because the RTX 40 series certainly seems to be doing well. In fact, the RTX 4090 actually outbenched the 5090 in certain aspects. Now, I'm not saying that the 32 gigabytes of VRAM is nothing. It's nice to have, but you don't really honestly need the full 32 gigabytes just yet. That's just trying to future-proof your PC. I get it. Unless you're going more into AI models or if you're using them for content creation, that's understandable as well. Now, your MSI Mortar B650 board has 2 NVMe slots. I run the 990. Oh, yeah. It's an awesome drive. It really is. Its speeds are incredible. Definitely the best when it comes to PCI Express 4. I got to give it to Samsung and then Western Digital Black. Those are definitely the two best NVMe's. If you're thinking of getting a PCI Express 4 card, definitely go that route. Yes, but not yeah, for sure. And if you're not familiar with the build that we're doing so far, we're doing a budget PC build in 2025, which I'm very excited to do. We're just waiting on one component, and you can take a guess of what that is because I'm going to show you what we have so far. We got the Corsair Vengeance. We actually picked this up for a awesome deal. We picked it up for $92.99 at Micro Center. And this is going to be part of the build here. And we have the AMD Ryzen 5 9600X. We actually got that for, I think, slightly over 200 USD. And we got here's another NVMe here. We got the Crucial P3. I love Crucial. They've been great drives. And we actually picked that up. You see that price up there where it says that it was like $84.99, I think it says. But we actually got it for a better deal for $64.99. Micro Center had it on sale. And we got the ASUS B850 Plus motherboard here. Thanks to ASUS for sending this. Because it actually is a very decent board. And you can get it. It's just a little over 200, and if you're lucky, you could catch it on sale just under 200. So that's a great motherboard, and I'll show you the cooler that we got. The cooler that we have is this right here, which is the LC360 ARGB LCD. And what else? We also have the case. That's a little bit big to pick up, but we have the 903 Max so far. And so we got the graphics card. We're gonna get the RX 9070 XT. That should be coming in next week, and we'll be doing a stream. Once we get it, we can definitely unbox it. Let me sit that up there. So Tech Review says, I do want the new Indiana Jones. Still hooked on Red Dead. You know what's funny? I haven't got to play Red Dead Redemption 2. It looks excellent. I do want to play it, but I got to give that a shot. And I'm a large fan of Mortal Kombat 2, actually. That's one game I haven't got. The NVIDIA not wanted to put many VRAM, so maybe own textures and less VRAM. But yeah, exactly. That's the thing. We will certainly see how that's going to go. And that's the problem. It's like speaking of AI models, I'm just thinking this. DeepSeek, you were actually able to put it in something like a RX 7900, and it wouldn't have issues. RX 7900 XTX, just to be specific, and you would be able to put the whole training model on there. And you can certainly do it, I'm sure, with the RX 9070s when they get released. Of course, it has less VRAM, but it certainly would be capable. I could certainly see it happening because they will eventually make AI models compressed and more smaller. But and if you are just tuning in for and for the whole free giveaway, I am doing this. Now this is something that I want to give away, a 990 Pro. It's a great drive. If you can see the chat before, you can see that people love this drive. It's an excellent drive to have on your PC, especially because a lot of modern games, they don't really require the speed of NVIDIA PCI Express 5. They have them out there. You don't really need it. They advertise it as a gamer's PCI Express 5 NVMe drive, but you're never going to utilize it yet. Microsoft is in works of trying to get direct storage similar to what they do with their Xboxes onto PC, which would be nice. And for AMD's side, I certainly expect a market share shift. A little bit of market share. It's not going to be a huge market share shift, but you could see it out there. It was in demand. Now, unfortunately, a lot of scalpers were out there to try to outpurchase these cards. The reason why they tried to outpurchase is to corner the market, to not be able to give the supply and demand that was needed. And the reason being, they're taking it and saying that the demand is going to be from the consumers, obviously, and that the scalpers will be the ones providing. And unfortunately, there's people that are going to be waiting outside of Micro Center each day. And it's just ridiculous. You have people waiting. Again, we were at Micro Center last week, which was on a stream on a Saturday. I was there just slightly early, around 9:30. I went to go into the Micro Center line, and there was already 3 people there. One guy looked like he just wanted to get the RTX 5090. The 2 other guys, they look kind of shady. And then on top of it, the funny thing is they went back to their car and they pulled out another guy to make it for people that was ahead of me in line. I was the 5th. So we went into Micro Center, and and to add to the story, they actually waited overnight. The one guy, he got there around 8 to try to get this RTX 5090. But when we went into the store, they didn't have it because, again, it was a Saturday. Like, they're not going to resupply on a Saturday, but they wait each day to just make sure that they could get their hands on the RTX 5090. So before it even goes in stock, there's someone out there waiting to purchase it, which makes it unfair for anybody out there who really wants the card. And this is on NVIDIA. They should have supplied better. I have the RT 6900 XT. The devil, and it was scary. Yeah, it's funny because some of their cards, if you've seen it, they actually have even up to 4. And with the 3 X8 Power Connects, they actually even have that has the overclocking ability. So a lot of these cards, when you see these extra connectors, especially the newer ones, it's for the overclocking ability. I certainly expect it to happen when it comes to the RTX 5090 when they come out with, like, say, a TI version or a Super. And if you haven't seen, NVIDIA actually announced a higher version of their GPU, which is up to 96 gigabytes of VRAM. Can you imagine how expensive that card's going to be? That's going to be well over probably like 10,000 for that card. 10,000 USD to purchase one GPU. And again, that's not going to be for someone that's just going to game. That's for somebody that wants to use it for using it for a AI training module or for a professional. But yeah, that I would say steer far away from that. I'd be afraid of the heat that it pushes out. I'm really curious about that on the most part. But yeah, so if you play Cyberpunk, I get all the crashes. If I only let it the ray tracing middle, yeah. And that's the thing. I think AMD has certainly improved on that aspect of it. Ray tracing has improved a lot since their previous generation when it came to the 7000 series. Their new 9000 series cards, that the best part is that it's only one generation behind of the NVIDIA's, and their path tracing is still a little bit far behind, which is 2 generations behind on the NVIDIA side. But their textures and their rasters are actually a little bit better than NVIDIA's currently. But what says NVIDIA Chef put a 5090 in your 10K PC? Yeah. You know what's funny? Yeah, I remember when when Jensen Huang said that everyone has a 10K PC sitting on their desk with just a outblinked PC. Now, unfortunately, most PC gamers are actually don't have a 10K PC. That a lot of them prefer to do a cheaper build if they can. But he was hilarious though when he said it, because everybody has that dream PC or the dream setup where they have that 10K PC and then they have the beautiful monitors and everything that go along with it. And unfortunately, I really hope NVIDIA does learn from this, and hopefully they get better with the whole pricing aspect of it, because it's really sad to see the state of NVIDIA. Because even before they released these cards, I always gave them the benefit of the doubt. I always felt like maybe this is just NVIDIA's way of doing things. Maybe they just, maybe the pricing has a point to it. Even like without the whole tariffs issue, of course that's gone into effect. And again, I'll go into that in a little bit about the whole AMD side and the AMD pricing. Excuse me. But on the AMD side and their pricing, NVIDIA on their side, it seemed like it was almost justified. I can understand that G7 is a new technology when it comes to their graphics cards. And when it comes to other aspects, it seems that with NVIDIA, with newer technologies, you can expect it to go up more because of, again, you do have inflation and you do have other parts that do come into play. TSMC also charges a little bit more for their 2nm chipset now compared to the what they originally charged for the last year. Now, a lot of things will change because they are making, TSMC is going to be building some more factories in the US, which will actually take away a lot of the tariffs for that side. But not to get into really tariffs, but let me go to the AMD side on this side. Now, yeah, 2 to 3K max is insane. And it's just insane to even see a GPU at that. Because remember when a high-end GPU was only 600 or 700 USD? But to get back to the point, speaking of which, when it comes to AMD side, when it comes to the tariffs, they said that the first batch would not really have that on there. But then when they did release the cards, you could certainly get the cards for $600 and for $550 if you wanted to, but you had to go to a Micro Center to purchase it. At Newegg, they did have some of the cards, but unfortunately their site had issues, and then some retailers were caught kind of uppricing their cards more than they should, and then they kind of returned the pricing back down. But the good thing is AMD actually demanded a lot of their retailers to bring back the original MSRP price, which was nice of them. And that it just shows you the difference in the companies when it comes to AMD and NVIDIA, because you don't really hear them communicate. So the MSI's GeForce RTX 5090 32. Yeah, that's insane. 3,715. Wow. And then, yeah, because you have the VAT tax and everything that gets thrown on there. I know for AMD side, that's the same way. They get thrown with the VAT tax, which is, I think it's 25%, if I'm not mistaken, or 21%. It was one of those two numbers. That's right off the top of my head. And yeah, it's just shady. And people always say, like, I don't know why that console gamers go to PC gaming. And that's the thing. It's just, it makes people not want to switch over because of when they see a 3000 GPU. Like, why would you want to spend that much on just one component to a PC build? And it just doesn't help the PC market in that sense. They're going to kill it off in that way. Now, thanks to AMD, they brought something that is at least competitive for the gamer side. And no, it's not going to be the top card. It's not going to be the best card. It's not going to be the RTX 5090. But it's certainly going to be competitive. It's going to be very similar to the RTX 4080, very close to the... actually, it even beat out the RTX 5080 in some frames. And yes, it's the best card for people who just want to game, who has a actual budget. Not everyone's gonna have $3,000 or $4,000 to spend on a GPU. And unfortunately, there are going to be people that are going to purchase that GPU because they feel that they need it. But honestly, it's not going to be that much of an uplift off of the RTX 4090. The uplift difference between the RTX 4090 and the RTX 5090 is only about 10%. So you're not really getting that much gain out of it. And you're getting, originally the RTX 4090 was only $1,499 USD, and that didn't seem like to be a bad price. And it was sort of understandable. But then you're getting out of control once it hits the 2000 region. Kind of understood it. We all felt like Blackwell would have this mysterious power to where it was just going to perform well. But then when you really take a closer look at NVIDIA's picture, the nanometer process, which is a 5 nanometers, is very similar to the 4090. They just added more wattage to it. So really, what are you really gaining out of Blackwell? You have a newer transformer model compared to the 4090. It's going to utilize the DLSS4 and full advantage of it in that way. But is it really that much better? So many people sell the 4090. Yeah, exactly. People are selling the 4090 for the RTX 5090 pricing. They sell it for the RTX 4090 for $2,200 to $2,500 USD to purchase or to sell this 4090, to have these unsuspecting buyers wanting to purchase it. So it's kind of messed up this whole used GPU market because of it. Because take a look at the RTX 4080 Super. Excuse me. The RTX 4080 Super you can purchase for $1,600 USD. Now, how's that make sense? The RTX 5080s only at $1,000 USD, and even the AIB models aren't that much more. So it just loses. It just doesn't make any sense for them because of that. Hopefully, NVIDIA does get better with the supply issue. Now it seems that the supply issue is probably really going to be pushed out into May, into June, to be honest, because they were supposed to resupply within the next week from inside information. And from other sources here, it was supposed to be released next week. Unfortunately, 90%. And even NVIDIA announced it themselves, where they have to pull back at least 90% of RTX 5090, 5090s and 5080s because of this 12-volt high power port problem. And because of it, there's not going to be enough supply for that. And NVIDIA kind of did it to themselves. They probably had buyers wanting to purchase these 50 series cards. Yeah, and that's the problem. So many people are just making this GPU market unfair. In fact, when we went to Micro Center last week, when we went through the GPU case, we could see how many 40 series cards that there were. There were none. There was actually one. There was actually a few, actually. It was only the 4060s. That was it. And then when we went to the 30 series side, they didn't have any either, except the 3060. So they had the 4060 and 3060. Everything else was empty. Now, on the AMD side, they only had the 6600, and that was it. AMD's RX 6600, and they had some prior models before that. I think they had 17600, but that was it. They didn't have any GPUs. So that's how bad the GPU market is. They're just buying them all up, no matter what no matter what it is, because gamers especially need it. And for those who have GPUs that are going bad, have to replace them. And there's just no supply. Now, I was the 6900 XT Red Devil for 500 euros. And 1 year ago, if you search, I'm sorry, I can't read that last part. I need my card. Oh, wow. That is insane. That's how much the value went up. So that just shows you how unfair the market currently is. And it just doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't be this way. In fact, Power Devil has an excellent card. I like how their new card looks. I think theirs was for the 9070. I think theirs was a little bit more higher, but it wasn't that much more. I think it was like slightly over 700 for theirs. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a shame. And it shouldn't be that way. Now, for anyone that's thinking about getting a RTX card or anything like that, I highly suggest don't purchase it from a scalper, because you're just going to give them what they want. They want to be able to make that sell. Instead, just cut off selling to any of them, because then it will slowly trickle back into stores. Especially, I bet for this RX 9070, we're going to see the same, because their supply is going to be actually decent. They're going to actually resupply relatively quickly when it comes to this. Now, so if anyone's just coming into this stream, welcome to the stream. I'm Chris Mizo. I usually like to talk about PC and tech. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you think about being part of the fan bam. If you do, make sure you go and subscribe down below for more. And hopefully you are liking the stream. If you are, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And for those who are on Twitch, make sure to follow me. I would really appreciate it. And I am doing a free giveaway to thank everybody who is part of the fan bam, because they are the ones that make it possible. And what I am giving away so far is going to be the Samsung 990 Pro with the heatsink. So you could choose to put it into a PS5 if you want to with the heatsink. If you choose to put it in a PC, you don't have to use the heatsink. I will be giving away some merch. I'll be giving away 3 Jonas tees here. And he just actually left out. He's actually the mascot is actually my dog, which is he's a miniature schnauzer. He went to go lay down in the sun. And get the in here, a Molder. yes. And thanks, Molder, for tuning in on Twitch over here, because I'm pretty new to Twitch. It seems pretty fun so far on that side of things. And I definitely hope to expand on it, because I actually just joined Twitch like probably about, I think it's 3 weeks total. I think I first started joining Twitch when I was playing Ninja Gaiden 2 Black with the RTX 4090 to see how the frame generation is. If you guys tuned into that, you've probably seen how bad the it's not really terrible, but some areas of the frame generation you can just tell when it's happening. Now, for a game like Ninja Gaiden, you shouldn't really need it that much anyway, especially if you have a RTX 4090. It does use the new Unreal Engine 5, which was pretty amazing to see, but it does have its limits. Now, a lot of gamers out there are not big fans of Unreal Engine 5, because they feel that it does not really optimize the games as well. In fact, there's this one developer that I follow on X. He made some amazing strides when it comes to gaming, where it doesn't actually require any ray tracing.
Everything he did was manually done. It looks beautiful. He's actually one of the developers when it comes to Call of Duty, but decided to kind of branch off and do his own thing. And it just looks gorgeous. He actually created this cabin with this sun beaming through the forest, and you can see the reflections in the water and everything without ray tracing. And he did this all manually. And that just takes quite a bit of work, and definitely looks like a game that it's worth investing in. And I wonder what the specifications will be when it comes to PCs, because can you imagine it doesn't require any ray tracing or any type of pad tracing to really make it look better? That you can actually game on a game that's finally optimized. And that's one of my biggest beefs too, when these newer GPUs and everything comes out, that game developers, especially these AAA companies, that they feel like they don't have to really develop the games as much. And yeah, that's the thing. It is a great engine, but it does certainly take up a lot of resources, and it's just kind of sad on that side. Unfortunately, hopefully, more developers decide to come up with their own engines instead of just relying on just Unreal Engine 5, just slapping that on there, because it just makes it a lot easier on them. There's no more R&D when it comes to these game studios, and then they just require you to have the latest and the greatest PC. Now, the minimum requirements for some of these PCs is required to have a RTX 30 series card, a Alder Lake CPU, which is pretty insane, or even a AMD Ryzen 5000 series. But it's just kind of ridiculous where the direction is going when it comes to gaming on PCs. I just wonder how Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be when that gets released on PC. Because unfortunately, it's not going to come this year, of course. But they did say they are on track of releasing it this year. It's supposed to be released by, I think, the end of this year. And hopefully they release it on PC within early of 2026, but that's unrealistic. We'll probably see it like September or October of 2026. So for us PC gamers, we'll have to wait a whole year for it. And so if you're wondering about this build so far, what I have going on for it, I do have, let me start off with the motherboard here, which is the ASUS B850 Plus Wi-Fi motherboard here. And I had a video based on that. I just released it this morning. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. I chose everything about the motherboard, what type of features it has. And it's on my YouTube channel, if you are wondering. Also, I have the AMD Ryzen 990, it's upside down. The Ryzen 5, 9600X, which we got just over 200 USD. And we got the Corsair Vengeance DDR5 6000 megahertz, which we got for $92.99. We got that on sale. And also the Crucial P3, which will also beat NVMe and PCI Express 4. It will also be, we actually got that for $64.99 on sale. And we have the ASUS LC360 with the CPU cooler. It's an AIO, and it actually has a LCD screen, which is really nice. And we got the Air 903 Max by Montech, their case, and we picked that up for $74.99. We also are getting the RX 9070 XT. That should be coming in soon. That should be coming in within about Tuesday. And when it does, I will certainly stream about it and show you what exactly or which model that I got for the RX 9070 XT, which I'm excited to share with you guys. And but NVIDIA's just been really all over the place. It's just sad because from the state that NVIDIA's 30 series was probably peak at the time. And then once we got to the RTX 40, once we got to the 40 series, it kind of got sketchy there. And then once we hit the 50 series, it just crashed. It just was terrible. Every day you're hearing something new that is terrible. Let me kick this guy out right here. Because, I lost my phone. All right, let me just check this here. But again, it's just insane. It just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense for NVIDIA to go the route that they did, because it just hopefully they listen a little bit more to the gamers out there, because it's pretty obvious when you see gamers wanting to get cards for under 700 USD. Not everyone has the money to spend $2,000 or $3,000 on a card. They always usually release the high end first, and then they release the mid tier card, which was their RTX 5080. Now, I have an idea that gamers do want to spend less. So again, hence why the 5080, they dropped the price down to $1,000, but really you're getting the 5070. Yes, everyone has to start small, and then eventually you can upgrade your GPU. Because the thing is, when you do get your GPU, when you do originally get it, you might want to get something like remember, just like the 1050, just say, or like a 1080, just to start off with, because you're on a lower budget, which is perfectly understandable, because you can always upgrade later. And let me see here. Stream manager. There we go. And where is it? Forgive me, guys. I'm just going over here to check something. Let me see. I'll worry about it later. But it's just a sad state to see NVIDIA the way it's going. And but this is the moment for AMD to really shine, and they certainly have. They have the supply to really show that they can really take some market share from NVIDIA. Because some people will have fatigue just waiting to get this 50 series card and say, you know what? I'm just going to go Team Red this time, see how I like them, and really try it out. And then it turns out that AMD is really not that bad. When it comes to their graphics, I mean your stream at the Shadow Man. Yes. And that's the funny thing. I'm trying to, yep. That's who I was trying to take out, was that guy. But it's just, AMD is one of those GPUs that's highly underrated. I was actually not surprised, but I felt very excited for the 7000 series, but it was just almost there. But the 9000 series certainly had something to show. And it was funny, at CES, when I was there, when I was walking through the different showrooms and everything, I was excited to see how they had so many different cards that they had. They actually appeared in the 9070s, but it wasn't just officially announced. The funny thing is, they had the cards there, but they took every place that I stopped by, every manufacturer just kind of took away their place card. So that way you can see that it was a 9070, but it was there, but it just didn't have the specifications or anything officially announced with it. And let me go here real quick. All right, perfect. But it's funny how it works, though, because now when it comes to the RTX 5090, I'm sure there's people out there still waiting for it. And in fact, Zotac was one of the Discord channels I highly recommended to go to if you're looking to get a 5090, because they do the giveaways. But they've only gave it away twice. And that just shows you how slow the supply is. It's just not there. They've only, and this isn't like a giveaway, like a free giveaway, but this was a chance to have your chat to raffle, to get a chance to win, to purchase a RTX 5090. And they've only done that twice. Newegg's only done shuffle about 3 times, but they had quite a handful of times where they created this bundle. Yeah, yes, they did. And NVIDIA is just a mess when it comes to it. They just are, it's a shame, because Now they're having fire hazard issues. They took away PhysX. They took away DirectX 9. It almost makes you feel like not getting a 5090 is not really worth it. At least when you get the 4090, that you can be able to play your old games. You can't play games such as like Fallout New Vegas, just say. And just imagine that you are unable to really play it. So instead, there's this one guy that actually decided to get the 5090. So he got the 5090, but he combined it with a 3060. And remember what Jensen Huang always said? He always said that if you buy more, you save more. So make sure to save those GPUs because you might need it for your other PCI Express slot. So that way you can play your older games that you like, such as New Vegas or Fallout 3 or any of those games. So any games that required the old DirectX 9 or DirectX, I think it's DirectX 9 and PhysX only, you won't be able to play on the new 50 series. Instead, it just won't even open up. So you're going to need a older card. Fortunately, for the 40 series, you're able to still play those type of games. Now, excitingly, we are doing this PC build. We're just waiting on the one component so far. Well, actually two, because it hasn't come in, which was the RX 9070 XT. It's supposed to be coming in Tuesday. And we're just waiting on a power supply. Actually, that's supposed to be coming in sometime and hopefully soon. And there's also more product that is coming in, which I'm excited about because this giveaway isn't the only one that I will be doing, but I will also be doing a second giveaway soon. And I will have that also announced because thanks to the wonderful fan band for making this happen. And for everyone who is just joining in, I'm Chris Mizo. I usually talk about PC and tech. I do talk to the chat, so feel free to come into the chat and mention any questions, or you can... Oh, wait. Oh, I just noticed something, guys. For some reason, it logged me out of YouTube, this streamer chat. That's funny. Now I lost my... Oh, that's wonderful. YouTube is being really finicky today. Let me close that out. Forgive me, guys. I will be right back. Oh, I do miss EVGA. I miss them so much. I was really hoping they would come to the... I honestly was hoping that they would come to the AMD or Intel even. Because Intel actually has some decent cards. I'm hoping that they will be coming in for it. Okay, so it looks like it's on there as well. Okay, I just had to restart my streamer bot so that way I can get the chat reopened. I guess the chat was acting. There we go. All right. Let me just double check. I'm just gonna say, hey guys, what's up? There we go. Perfect. Yeah, for some reason, the chat I had the streamer bot was kind of acting up. I think I have to update it so it's acting up on that sense. I apologize for anyone out there who hasn't seen this. If I didn't see your chat, because I didn't realize that streamer bot had logged out on my YouTube chat. But certainly, let me go over and scoot over this side so you can see me. I am excited to do this build for everyone out there. And I got to show you what is going on with this build. Now, we have the AMD Ryzen 9600X, which we got just under 200. I mean, just a little over 200 USD. We also got Corsair's Vengeance Pro right here, which we picked up for $92.99 USD. And we also got Crucial's P3 Plus here, which we got on sale, which was actually $64.99, a great deal that they had over at Micro Center. And we got the B850 Plus Wi-Fi, thanks to, thanks to ASUS. We got the B850 Plus right here. There we go. And we also got the ASUS Prime LC360 ARGB LCD here. There it is. Pretty dope, right? Yeah, that's the funny thing. Yeah, I remember GeForce 8800 had the extra physics card. Yeah, and that was the thing. I remember people doing that. They were actually putting together two different. They were putting two different parts together, which was a PhysX card and a GPU. And if you had them together, it would be a dope combination to where you have some great fluid motions. And it was amazing when it came out because the thing about PhysX kind of gave that whole ragdoll effect. And that made gaming exciting because before you would have kind of this weird animation when they would hit the wall, to say, and it was amazing now that you can actually see them fall like kind of like a doll, practically like a rag doll. And that's what they kind of brought to the whole gaming part. But and the exciting thing is I can't wait for this AMD RX 9070 to come in. It's supposed to come in next week. We did get it off a Newegg. We didn't get their error message, thank God, where they said, oh, we don't have enough inventory. We had to cancel your order. Didn't get none of that. I actually got a tracking number. And it's going to be coming in supposedly or allegedly on Tuesday. And when it does, I will certainly do that. Let me see. Oh, yeah. And it's funny because he just provided a link. Moldy on Twitch, he provided a link to what EVJA used to have. And yeah, he's actually really amazing. That's one channel you guys subscribe to, D Bauer. He actually talked about the RTX 5090 and talked about how hot these harnesses can really get when it comes to the 12 volt high power port to the RTX 5090. Another topic that had to be brought up was the fact that they had to do a large pullback of supply. It was supposed to have some brand new supply next week, plenty of it too, of the RTX 5090, but 90% of it got all pulled back by NVIDIA because a lot of these cards were getting way too hot. I see what you got, the EVGA Frankenstein. I remember that. That's it's funny because that's some throwback there. That just gives you some memories. It's funny. That is a awesome card too. I'm definitely gonna watch that later. Thanks for sending that to me, Mulder the Multi. And the funny thing is, when they did this whole pullback, 90% of their supply of RTX 5090 cards, now there's only 10% of it's going to be released. So hence you're going to have this same issue to where there's barely going to be any supply again. So you're not going to expect any RTX 5090 supply until what? Maybe until June, I would say. May, if we're lucky, to be honest. We'll be really lucky in May. But it's going to be crazy how they're going to try to turn that around. And people who are trying to purchase a RTX card are probably have been turned off by it by now and just are more interested in purchasing an AMD card at this moment, especially because you can purchase it for a much lower deal. You can save so much more money and you don't have to borrow any type of money. You don't have to use any credit cards to purchase a AMD RX 9070. And yes. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I completely forgot to bring that up. And Mulder, thank you for bringing that because I appreciate it. You just reminded me about the ROPs. That's another issue. Apparently, even the RTX 50 series laptops that are getting released, some of them are even missing ROPs, actually. So not just the GPUs, even the laptops. So NVIDIA just is not... Where's the quality control at? What happened to NVIDIA? It's just... And these laptops are not cheap. If you've seen the pricing for them, some of them are like 5,000 USD to purchase one. It's insane. So I can't imagine how much it is in Germany and in places like Europe because they have to pay a VAT tax on top of it. So it would be quite expensive to even try to purchase a NVIDIA laptop. And on top of it, you don't have ROPs. It's just sad because now I even had this meme of, the Shiba Inu dog, and it says that who needs ROPs? Because now it just looks like ROPs are kind of an option. Who cares about ROPs? But it does matter. Make sure you check your cards if you do have a 50 series card to see if the ROPs are there, because it can make a 10% difference, even up to a 15% difference to the cards. Yeah. NVIDIA's only exactly. It's like NVIDIA takes away some performance and they're like, here, we're happy to take your money, but these ROPs, you don't really need them. Well, we can have them. But now they're saying, it's funny, NVIDIA did say that they're able to, if you have ROPs missing in your card, make sure you contact NVIDIA. They will replace them. But don't expect it anytime soon. As I was mentioning, these 50 series cards, if you do send it to NVIDIA for repair, more than likely, you're probably not going to get that card back until probably 7 to 8 weeks. Because more than likely, they prefer to do a quick swap, which is where they already fixed one before and just give you the fixed one, and they take the old one to kind of resupply. I see. Yeah, exactly. Everyone, and according to NVIDIA, it's like almost like everyone's driving a Porsche there. But yeah, exactly. It's like, can you imagine getting a Porsche and you're missing 50 horsepower out of it, and they're like, oh yeah, you don't really need that much horsepower. It doesn't matter, especially in Germany, like where you have the Autobahn. Yeah, I can imagine that. Yeah, especially when you need that speed there. But for those who are just tuning in, I'm Chris Mizo here. I'm on my streams, just to let you know, I don't ever put up ads, or I don't like to monetize my ads. I mean, I don't put up ads, or I like to monetize my streams. I like to really connect with you guys out there, the viewers, because I like to get what you guys say personally too. So, so far I am doing this. I'm excited to announce this free giveaway. I will have the link in both Twitch. I will actually send out one of the links. I'm going to send out one of my giveaway links here. I'm going to actually send it through the chat, guys. So make sure you're staying tuned for that. Let me see here. Give. So if I am, there it is. Let me see. Here it is. Copy. All right. Is this, why is it? Okay, for some reason it looks like there's two different ones. So let me just make sure I got this correct here. And I'm just checking just to make sure it has all the proper information here, so that way I can send it out to you guys. All right. And okay, so I'm copying it. I'm just gonna send it to the chat. Yeah, exactly. Oh, why did it copy that? No limits. There we go. It's so weird. It's sending this. If you're not following my Discord channel anyway, I'm going to send it in. Make sure you follow it. And or join the channel for Discord. And I am going to send the giveaway link, guys. Just bear with me. I just have to get in because I usually do these giveaways through Gleam. So everything is randomized, just to let you know. So why is there... It is acting up. Duplicates. Yeah, duplicates. Oh, excuse me. And let me delete this. And so, what are your thoughts? All right, you know what? Let me just copy this because... here, and I'm just got to copy the link here. Oh, that's what it's doing. That's what I did. Okay, so let me go here. Not that. All right. I apologize for everyone out there because I'm just trying to grab this link for you guys.
And right now, let me see, go to competitions, edit. And I'll be right back, guys. Let me just get this sorted right here. I apologize for this. Just bear with me because it's just acting up here. Here it is. Perfect. All right, I apologize for that. That is the exclusive link out there for it so far. You guys on the stream are the first ones to be able to join the free giveaway. And I really appreciate everyone who is joining the stream. But just to let you guys know, thank you guys so much for watching. I didn't realize the time's already 12 o'clock. Time goes by quick already. I enjoyed talking with you guys. If you aren't part of the Big Wonderful Fan Band, make sure you subscribe down below. And also, hopefully you enjoyed this content of the stream. I certainly will be streaming again very soon. I will have it scheduled out on both Twitch and both on YouTube. And when I do, I will let you guys know exactly when, because I am expecting the RX 9070 XT on Tuesday. And if it comes in Tuesday, I will stream then. If it comes in Monday, I'll stream then. But for now, I'll schedule it for Tuesday, but it could be a possibility for Monday. Also, make sure you join the free giveaway. I really love you guys out there. I really thank you guys for making this possible. And there will be a ton of content coming out soon that we will do. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Chris Mizo signing out. Yeah, you can say in general or whatever in the Discord. And I am missing my phone. But it should be on there on this one I have. But I do appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this stream. I really appreciate it. And again, when we do these streams, we will never put any monetization or ads on them. And again, thanks for joining.